Okay, here we go. So today, everybody, I'm going to put on my subtitle, Revisiting the Carry, the exercise you aren't doing. And some of you may be, especially if you're a gardener or if you cook or whatever. So as you're walking, I just now went through the lineup. So you see what I did? I'm walking like this, like a little soldier boy. But when I put my foot out, I soften my knee. See, and if you'll put your heel down first, that will help you soften your knee. Okay, then you walk back. Now I'm going to invite you to put your toe down. Your toe down. Be ready. It's going to throw you. Because when you tippy toe, just exactly what you would do if you were doing tippy toe and you didn't want somebody knowing that you were coming into the kitchen to, in fact, get a little treat out of the refrigerator if you have guests in the house. You're supposed to be laughing right now. Okay, so I backed up. See what I did? So here I go. I'm going to say shoulders down, rib cage up, tuck my chin. Tuck my chin. And you notice when I tucked my chin, the ears came back over the shoulders. This is very important in what we're going to do. And now I'm going to tippy toe. See, I put my toe down, but I bend my knee. Toe down, bend your knee. Toe down, bend your knee. And when you do the toe down thing, those of you that had trouble with plantar fasciitis, just be careful. Don't overload that foot because this is more work on your feet. That's why I like to include it when I do something that highlights the carry. And that's what's going to be on the byline. See what I'm doing? I'm hesitating. I'm doing a halting walk. Then I go back. And I'm going on my tippy toes. Okay, now change it. Now put your heel down. But when you put your heel down, don't lock your knee out. Keep a soft knee. And some of you might say, yeah, but that looks really funny when I'm walking around. And I said, well, you know what's really funny looking? When your back is out and you're walking like this. That's really funny. So stay with me, okay? You're going to have a whole hour revisiting the carry. See this? Halting on my toes. Back up, back up, back up. Now put the heel down, go from heel to toe, heel to toe. And have you let go of your stomach? Have you brought your shoulders up? Drop them down, rib cage up, tummy tight. Soften your knees. I'm going to do one more pass. So here I am walking on my toes. Then I'm going to back up on my toes. Then I'm going to go heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. So I don't know about you, but in my space, I can get, 3 or 4 steps, which is fine. Now, before we pick up our weights, and I hope you have your shopping bag. I hope you have your free weights around. We're going to use those today. I have a lighter weight here in a different form. If you have a kettlebell, if you have a bucket of anything, if you have your prep bottles, I'm trying to look where my prep bottles went. I can't see them. Have them around because we're going to do a lot of carries today. Okay? So before you start to pick things up, we want to take our joint in our hip, especially, which impacts your back through its full range. So what have we done so far? Getting prepared for this class, this very special class on the carry. I'm doing toe forward walking, toe backward walking. I'm constantly saying shoulder down, heel toe now, heel toe. Now I'm going to go back up, back up, back up. Now I'm going to go to the side, tap to the side, tap. Do you know that if you carry a bag, and we're going to pick up a bag here in just a minute, and you go to the side and you're not doing your proper postural lineup, which includes bending your knee now. It includes bending your knee. If you lock your knee out when you step side to side, you're going to be carrying a bag here in just a second. So see, I come here, I go step out, I go step in, I go step out, tap, step in, bring it in, step out, tap, step in, bring it in, okay? So I want you to actually bring the foot in. But if you're going to the side, which I've seen many times in my classes and everywhere, if somebody takes a step out here, that a lot of times they'll lock their knee. I want you to bend your knee. Now, in order to do that, you have to hip hinge. You can't put your leg out here and bend your knee if you don't hip hinge. Okay, that's the trick. So everybody in my class that I see coming in today should know what the hip hinge is, right? So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. So shoulders down, tuck my chin, soften my knees. There it begins. When I soften my knees, what happens with the hip? It pushes back, okay? This immediately in my back feels contracted because it is an extension for my back extensors. So if I'm prepping to step out with a bent knee, I have to hip hinge. Keep my chin tucked. See, I don't want you stepping out and doing this. I want you to pull that chin in so that you don't keep insulting and stressing your cervical disc, and bring it back in. Remind yourself, you're going to be doing this with some very heavy carry weights in just a few seconds or minutes, okay? I'll say minutes because then Kathy knows I'm going to let you rest. Okay. Sorry, Kathy. Step out. Okay, do you see that? I didn't say anything. Did you get your hip hinge? Yay. Step into it. Now step to the center, bring it in, and step out. Hip hinge. And then come back in, and then step out, hip hinge. Come in. Step into the center, hip hinge. Keep your chin tucked and step in. Hi there, you guys. Come on in. Step out, hip hinge, and come back in. Okay? So that kind of motion with no weight is a very important thing to do before you pick up the weight. Okay? Now, before we start in on it, we're going to do some transverse work with a bar. Now, many of you have your bars in place. And what can it be? It could be a golf club. It could be a broomstick. It could be an umbrella. It could be a pole that we use like in class. If you don't have one, I'll meet you at school and give you one. Okay? So right here, I can't do that with Elisa. She's in Alabama. Anyway, get you a pole. Okay? So here we go. We're going to do these kinds of motions to recover because you're going to be using a lot of your obliques. You're going to be using your lats. You're going to be using all your core stomach muscles and especially your back extensors. Okay? So you need to know how to recover before we do another load. Now, the other thing you can do on your load, which is what I use when I'm in Oklahoma, because that's what's right there. I got one of my brother's kettlebells. That's a perfect carry medium. But a big old bucket full of anything is a good medium to carry too. Okay, so we've done our transverse, right? It's a very good way to get recovered. See if I go like this, back, or this, back, around, around. It should feel wonderful. After we do this class, then I'm going to highlight carries. We're going to do some free weights for our arms and such, but We're going to do a lot of carrying. This kind of motion, and then a split stance motion where you're going side to side. You're going to feel different muscles when you do a split stance and you do a transverse, turning, turning, turning. And somebody would say, well, how many do I do of those? I would say as many as you want to, okay? And you see, when I step forward like this and my toes are forward, it helps me with my balance muscles and my hand-eye, as I'm using my eyesight to do this turn type of a thing. You're going to feel different muscles even with doing that. So step in and then step back. Now hold your ground. How do you hold your ground? You don't lock your legs. You bend that back knee, you bend the front leg, and then you do your transverse. But you keep your chin tucked. Keep your chin tucked, keep your tummy super tight, okay? And you're just going back and forth in a transverse motion. Excellent. Breath, 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 breath. Yeah, just like that, just like that, just like that. And then you start feeling better. You start feeling loosened up. If you did nothing else but what we just did, whenever I post this, and you just go through that warm-up, and you don't have time to do other things, fine. You're going to feel better because I know what I just put you through is a huge loosening exercise, loosening, and we will get this pole again. So I'm going to put it where I can get at it. Don't put it on the floor where you're going to trip on it. Okay. So if you have a lighter weight, many of you that have been in my class remember this ball. This could be 4 pounds. It could be 6 pounds. I'd like you to pick up at least a 4 or a 6. And if you don't have this, just pick your weights up. That's fine. Okay, just pick your weights up or pick up your bag of beans. That'd be fine. Any of that. Okay, so here is my this is a 10-pound weighted ball. That's what this is. Okay, so I'm going to carry, and I'm going to go through the basic carries that I'm going to be using with this ball, even though whenever I hold it like this, I have to use my arm a little differently, right? Because I can come down here, but I have to hang on to the ball, and that's okay. But if you have a weight, you can do the same thing. If you have a kettlebell, if you have a bag full of a 4-pound weight, a 5-pound weight, this one's 10. But the point is, I'm going to review what we're going to be doing. Do you see what I did just now? I went to the other side, and I'm doing the very thing that I warmed you up with, which is walking forward and back, but not just walking. What am I doing right now? I'm on my tippy toes. See, I'm on my tippy toes, and I've just put a 10-pound carry, a 10-pound weight in the form of a ball right here. Okay? You can have a 4-pound, a 5-pound, a 6-pound, but you need to feel it. And look at my elbow. So when I have this up here, I don't want to be flaring my elbow out here. I want it to be bent and pointing forward. So see what I'm doing? I'm on my toes now. And I've been on my toes every single pass. In order for me to be on my toes and do this little tippy toe carry, I have to keep my knees bent. Right. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders. The minute you put a ball up here, you scrunch up your shoulders. Drop your shoulders. Okay, tippy toes. We're on our tippy toes right now. We're going front. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, little steps to back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure that you know where you're going so you don't trip on anything. Okay, now then switch. Okay, just so you feel the load and you vary the carry. That kind of rhymes, doesn't it? Vary the carry. That's what you want to do actually in a carry type of an exercise. You want to vary it, and we're going to go to heavier bags, that I may put this in my bag to be part of that load. I'm staying on my toes. Those of you with plantar fasciitis issues, feet issues in general, be cautious. You can overdo, because you go into the ball of your foot, you're going to be using that foot, that ankle, that muscle in the calf a lot more. And do you see what I'm doing? I'm trying to make sure that I'm in symmetry with my shoulders. Even though I have 10 pounds right here, I want to make sure I'm not dropping my shoulder. That's the point. Okay, now bring that heavy ball or the heavy weight right here in your midsection. See that? So now we have what's called a central carry. All right. So I'm going to go back. Now I'm going to do my step to the side, step in, step to the center, step in. So if I were with you right now, I would stand behind you. I would make sure, number one, that you in fact have your shoulders down, your chin is tucked, your tummy's nice and tight. And when you step to the side, you're stepping with your feet going forward. Now, right now, because you're bending forward in a hip hinge, you want to keep your rib cage up. Oh, so important in this carry. So I'm right here. I got this right in the breadbasket, right? So I'm hanging on to this. I'm going to step again to the side. But what do I have to do? I have to bend my knee. In order to bend my knee and step with my toes forward, I have to do a hip hinge. When you're in this position and you're in a lean out position, it's not a hard lean out, but it's a little lean out. You should feel the contractions that's happening. This is the gentle work of the carry. It is mimicking so many functional movement patterns, but it's doing it. I'm doing it now with a 10 pound. I'm holding on a 10 pound. You can be holding on whatever light weight that you have. It could be your weights, your free weights. But the point is, as I step out, my knees bend, my butt pushes back. That is so important, you guys. Step and then come in. Tummies are tight. And when you're stepping out and you come up to this position, see what I'm not telling you is in this position, I'm squeezing my butt. Yeah, just like I wanted to take a pecan and smash it right there on my rear end. You should be laughing right now, Marilyn. Step out and step in. Because it's funny when you think about that, but it's true. You should be able to tighten up your gluteals. If you cannot tighten up your gluteals, you cannot support your back in motion. Okay, so the gluteals are tight right now. Step out again, step in, hip hinge, out, and come in. One more, out, push, and come in. Yay. Bring that lighter weight right here to center, okay? And now step out, and whether it's in the form of a bag or a free weight or a ball, just act like you're gonna come down, act like you're gonna bowl it, but you don't bowl it, okay? Now some of y'all are out there and you're bowlers, or you know bowlers, and you're like, Jeannie, you would not bowl with your bowling ball between your legs. Well, some of us might. So what I'm telling you is take that bowling ball and do a couple of these in your movement pattern, because as you're coming down, it's coming right through those back extensors. Now you're down here, and here's what I watch for. When somebody comes down here in a movement and they're going to come up, you know what I see? I see them roll and move their knees out. Don't do that. Bring it right, stay right on all four corners of the foot, and bring her up. all the way up. Now, right here, squeeze your butt. Yes. Okay, you ready? Bring it down. Okay, you're on all four corners of your foot. Act like you're going to throw it down the aisle, down that bowling alley, then come back down. So I'm doing this with 10 pounds. And you can use a little heavier weight. That's why I'd like it to at least be, even if you have shoulder issues, if you're cleared for movement through your shoulders, this will be a safe one generally for you to do. So as you're coming down, you want to keep on all four corners of your feet, keep your chin tucked, come all the way down, act like you're going to roll it down the alley, but you don't. Here we go. Pull and come back. Breath. Pull and come back. See how my elbows stay in? 2 more. Right here. Keep your chin tucked. Okay, did you tighten up? Right there. Tighten your gluteals right there. All four corners of your feet. Breath. Okay, I know I said 2 more. Let's do 1 more. Here we go. And right there. You loved it, didn't you? Okay. So we had a side carry. We had a side carry. We had a in the middle carry. Then we're going to put it right down here. And then come up. We're going to put it right down here. So however you can hold whatever you're carrying, whether it's a bag of beans, this should be lighter. Mine is 10. It's a ball. And I'm just going side to side so I can feel that load and keep my elbow slightly bent. So even though I'm opening it up, I have to keep my hand cupped to hang on to that ball. So if you had a bag, which we'll do in just a minute, same thing, okay? Now, last one we're going to do, and here's my trainer's tip. There's many of you out there that have shoulder issues. You have delicate shoulders. And always the caution is nothing up over your head, which is a good caution. However, it is a functional move to be able to put something up in a closet or in a garage or something like that with an upward motion, right? Now, should you do this if you have a delicate back? No, you should not. You just hang out right here. Bring it to your ear, bring it down. That's my modification, okay? I take great honor in helping people modify to use muscles that they think they can't use. So if you have a delicate back, a delicate shoulder, you're going to hang out right here. See that? Then you're going to switch. If you can and you're healthy with your shoulders and you want to stay healthy but you want to get a little stronger, you're going to try to put something up on the closet shelf. See that? Then I come back, take a breath. When you start to do this move, think about trying to put something up on a closet shelf, okay? Tight tummy, right? And I'm doing this now with a split stance. So I'm stepping out, and then I'm going right up above my ear. And I'm acting like I'm going to put something up on a shelf. Then I'm going to come down. Then I'm going to step in. Then I'm going to switch. And what I'm not going to do as I start to put this up on the shelf is I'm not going to drop this shoulder. I'm putting this up, and then I'm coming down. I'm pushing my shoulders down internally. Big breath, tight tummy. Here I go. I'm going to put something up on the shelf. I'm going to hang out here for a second. Then I'm going to bring it down. Take a breath. I'm going to do 1 more on each side. Here we go. Right there. Take a breath. And then come down. Notice where my elbow is. See this? It's not flared. It's right here pointing forward. And I'm trying to put something up on a shelf right here. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Bring it back down and bring it back in. Now, if you picked a lightweight, but a challenging weight, you're feeling this. And here's the thing, it's not just here. See, when we had to do this move, you brought into play all of this. You brought into play your obliques, your lats, your arms, and then your hips, knees, and feet took that whole pressure of that carry, okay? Now, since we're having so much fun doing carries right now, I'm going to go ahead and use my bag the way it's loaded. It's right here. See that? So I want you to pick up, and some of you may say, well, oh, I don't have a bag like that. I'm like, well, there's lots of these cotton, or this is a vinyl bag, you know, that you shop with for groceries. And if you have a bag that you use, one of those ones that are not plastic, you can use double line it, and you can use plastic. But the point is, load it. Because some of you load it as if you weren't going to eat much that week. And you know that your bags are pretty heavy, especially, I should look to see if Nancy's on. If there's a sale, well, I can tell you Nancy's bags are going to be full, okay? You know it, right, Nancy? I don't know if she's on. So looky here. So I'm just getting a readout. That's all I'm doing. See this? I'm lacing my fingers around my handles. I'm stepped wide. The biggest thing you should see that I'm doing right now is two big things. Shoulders down. As I go down with a hip hinge, I keep my back extended, right? And I'm grabbing this. My fingers are laced, and I'm pulling up first before I straighten my legs. Yeah. So put that bag down. This bag for me, I counted up right now, it's about 40 pounds. And I may put that ball in there and make 50 pounds because I'm going to go heavy today. You use whatever will push you adequately. Okay, so Sarah, I'm down here getting my bag, right? It's full of all my shopping items. And I have to get it to the car. So I'm going to lace my fingers. I'm going to pull it up just like that. Take a breath. And I'm going to go to one side. See, because I got to walk now, right? So I'm going to go all the way back. Make sure you don't trip on anything. So what should you notice? So I have 40 pounds here in a bag. I'm going to take steps like a normal walk, which is a heel-toe walk, but I got my bag in one side. Now, innervate or pull in your tummy muscles. I caught you, didn't I? Because you were in fact doing this heavy carry with this heavy bag and you hadn't pulled your stomach muscles in. See, if you do that and you don't think about that pattern and you drop your shoulders significantly, you are setting yourself up for pulling a muscle, pulling something out of whack up your back. So look what I'm doing here. See this? This is level. I'm taking those little steps because this is heavy. This is a heavy carry. And I'm going heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. But my tummy is super tight. Super tight. Okay? Take a breath. Bring it over to the other side. Come down. Tuck your chin. And you're going to lift it up. So it's the exact sequence that we did here. Let me reiterate that. When we were doing this, I had you bend your knees. I had you push your butt back. Tuck your chin, okay? I didn't straighten my knees here to lift this. What did I do? Tight tummy, pull, then straighten. It's the same thing now that we're going to do one side we're going to do a unilateral move, a unilateral carry. So I'm going to be down here. I'm going to do the same thing, only this side is going to work even harder because I'm pulling this 40 pounds in that bag up. Now, squeeze your butt, tight tummy, and I'm going to do little heel-toe walking with this very heavy load. So I'm going to go back and forth. I'm going to take a couple of passes. So I'm going to go heel-toe, 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 heel-toe. Then I'm going to walk backwards. And I'm going to keep my tummy, what? Super tight. Take a breath, drop your shoulders, walk, 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 walk. Come back. So this should be significantly heavy for you. I'm going to do 2 more with this side because I'm trying to make this side of me really work. When you have your weight over here and you're doing unilateral carries one at a time, your other side is working so hard right now. You got to know this, okay? Now I'm going to put this down right there in front of me. Now the real task is going to start. Okay, are you ready for this? So before we pick this up again, we're going to take a little break. So what are we going to do? See, I got my little kitchen chair here, right? I got my little kitchen chair there. I don't have to be squared up to it or anything. It could be a low chair. It could be a regular kitchen chair. It could be this divan. See that? Tight tummy. Shift. Drop your shoulders. Drop your chin. Release your toe and bring that foot right here and do a tap, tap, tap. See that? Then bring it down. Now, coming up to the chair and coming off of the chair is a big deal because I want you to shift. See? I want you to bring that foot up, put it down. Tap, tap, tap. Now don't slide off that chair. You're balancing on one leg. So what does this mean? You should have something that you can reach out and touch for balance if you need it. It could be a wall. It could be a chair. It could be counter. Anything that's not moving. Because I'm fixing to bring this knee up and put it down. Okay? That move, y'all, is huge if you do it correctly. Because think of what you're doing. You are doing a one-legged balance act. See that? Some of you have really got some challenges with your balances, okay? Understand that and meet the challenge. Don't try to do this, oh, I can do that with not holding on to anything. Don't do that because you'll find yourself in the floor. Do I need to give you Kay's number? I'm sorry, Kay. I don't know if Kay's on. But anyway, use these little suggestions that I give you. Shift. See, here we go. Now I'm strength loading because I'm going to come up here and I'm going to bring the knee up and put it down. And I'm going to go tap, 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 tap. Okay? Now I'm going to bring it up and put it down. To balance in that position, that's huge. Okay? That is really huge. Shift. Sorry about all the talking. They're working. Here we go. See how I brought my leg up? And I'm doing a single leg balance, and I might need to put my hand on a wall or something. See? I just put my hand on the wall. Keep your knees soft. Bring the leg up and come back down. Okay? Now, you even, by doing that little interset, because we were doing a lot of this kind of carrying, I had you change the focus. I had you bring your leg up. Okay? So before we go and carry again, in fact, I'm going to put my hands on a wall. on a chair, just like this. I'm going to step wide. I'm going to feel the chair seat on my knees. I'm going to put my hands right here, and I'm going to push my hips forward. And if you have one hip or one knee or one foot that's a little wonky, you're going to feel a great stretch when you do this gentle hyperextension in a standing position. So soften your knees, push your hips forward, keep your chin tucked, shoulders down, and you should just feel a wonderful stretch coming right through that tight hip or the tight back or whatever. And people especially who have what's called spinal stenosis, which many of us do as we have our birthdays, the only antidote to not getting degeneration of the spine or some of these other issues is just quit having birthdays. That's the alternative. Okay, I hope I got your attention here. No whining, y'all. Okay, are you ready? So I'm not going to really pull my stomach in here. Not on this one. I'm going to drop my shoulders, drop my chin. I'm going to put my hands back here, and I'm going to push my hips forward again. Yeah, keep your knees soft. Just soft. Keep pushing, 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 pushing. Pushing, 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 pushing. Now release. Bend those knees. Now you're ready. Okay? Okay. Now I'm going to do the tiptoe carry. All right? I'm going to turn around this time and come back. So I'm going to do kind of a little circle. Okie dokie? So prepare your bag or prepare whatever it is that you're carrying that's a heavy weight. Now, this is 10 pounds, and I'm thinking I just want to add like maybe 4 to 6 pounds. Let me see what I have. Yeah, this is 6 pounds. That's good. 4 pounds make a difference. So pretend, you guys, that you're shopping, and you just couldn't do without that one item that was on sale, so you needed to get a whole bunch of them. Now you have to transfer this from your cart to your car, okay? Maybe you're going to put it in the back seat. Maybe you're going to put it in the trunk. Whatever you're going to do, you're going to have to lift that out, right? So here's how you do it. It's in the shopping cart, right? So we're going to put it up here in the shopping cart. See that? So it's right there. I'm going to put my hands, I'm going to take a wide stance. I never see this done. I've watched many people put their bags from their car from their cart into their car, and I never see them really think about setting themselves up to really lift properly. So here's my bag. It's in my shopping cart. I'm going to step wide. See that? I'm going to hip hinge. See that? I'm going to grab my bags, maybe with both hands, instead of grabbing 3, 4, and 5 bags in one side. You can do that. However, it's very heavy. If you want to do that, get a wide stance and grab them. Grab 3 or 4 of them. Bring it up first. Then ambulate. And then step wide and put it down into your trunk or into your car. Are you ready? Now I'm at home. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to grab this bag, both hands. I'm going to hip hinge, keep my chin tucked, bring it right up to me. Then I'm going to ambulate and I'm going to walk to my house, my door, and I'll put it down. Okay? So what am I doing? I'm trying to make you think about your movement patterns in everyday life that get us into trouble. Okay? It gets us into trouble. Because you know what I see happening? I see you taking 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 bags, maybe in one hand, and then you turn and you try to ambulate. That's when you're going to hear that pop, which is what happens. So don't do that. Get both hands, go in straight on this heavy bag. It could be 5 or 6 bags, that's fine. Get it right up here and then walk around. See how I can walk? And I'm center. Then when I go to put it down, what am I going to do? Step wide, put it down. So I added 6 more pounds. So in fact, I have right at 50 pounds that I'm lifting. And some of you would say, well, that's when I call somebody to do it for me. Well, that's when I don't call somebody to do it for me. So I take these things as challenges because that's what's going to keep your bones, y'all. And that's what's going to keep you from pulling your back out, okay? So, and we do things in life. We do things. We want to keep doing things. And if you want to do that, really learn your movement patterns. See how I'm doing this now? I'm doing this whole thing, this lift carry with more poundage. So I'm pretty close to 50 pounds here. So push into the heels. Your knees are bent. Tuck your chin. Pull. Then straighten your legs. Bring it back down. Okay, hang on. Here we go. Pull. Then straighten your legs and squeeze your butt. Release and release all the way down. Here we go. Push into the heels. Pull and push. Right there. Squeeze your butt super tight. Okay, put it down. Put it down. Choke down on the bag handles. Here we go. Push. Now I'm ready to ambulate. I'm going to bring my legs in. I'm going to go over to one side. Right here. Okay. And I'm coming in the house. And I spent quite a bit of money on the sales today. And so I'm sneaking in the house, see? So I'm on my tippy toes. That's what I'm doing. I'm into my tippy toes. See that? I stay in a hip hinge. My shoulders are down. My rib cage is up. I'm letting this weight just hang here. Tippy toes, tippy toes, tippy toes, tippy toes, tippy toes. So now you're really putting a great resistance load on every single joint, all the way down to your toes. Bring it back, 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 back. Put the weight over here or the bag. Open your hands. If it's heavy like that, your hands are feeling it. That's why I like to use gloves. That's a great tip, by the way, for all of you shoppers out there. Why not use your weight training gloves when you go shopping? That's a great suggestion. Then you'll be able to handle it so much better. Okay. This is when I miss sound. I can hear some of you going, oh, brother, and some of you are laughing, laughing, laughing. Okay, here, see, I got almost 50 pounds here. I probably should go and weigh it so I can be accurate, but I know how much is in there, okay? Same thing, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna turn down here and pull like this? No, you're not. What are you gonna do? You're gonna do a hip hinge. You're gonna drop your chin. You're gonna say rib cage up, square up your shoulders, push into the heels. You're going to pull first, then straighten the legs. Got it? Now I'm gonna do my tippy toes with this very heavy weight. Try to get into your toes and take 2, 3, 4 little steps. But here's my trainer's tip. If you really are loading so that you feel this and you're walking backwards, be careful. Get your heels up. If you don't get your heels up, I'm telling you, you're going to catch your heel and you're going to go down. So get your heels up anytime you walk backwards. That's one of the best things you can help yourself do, not to get tripped up on things. See how I'm doing this very heavy carry? And I'm doing it at least 3 or 4 times. Okay? So I want to try to get 20 to 30 steps in with a very heavy carry. And so some of you would say, well, I'm never going to carry something that heavy. I hear it all the time. You're doing some yard work, you're moving, you're helping somebody move, you pick up something just a little too heavy for you, you use bad movement positionings, and boom, you're in trouble with your back. Okay, now we're going to put it right in front of us. Take a big breath, shake out your hands. Yes, shake them out. Okay, open and close, open and close. So we're putting a lot straight down us, right? So before we do the last move today with a heavy carry, I want to innervate back behind all of our muscles back through here, okay? So what am I going to do? I'm going to stay upright. Unlike we did Wednesday, we got really down to lift. I'm going to put my hands on my chair, step forward, say rib cage up, drop my chin. I'm going to lift with my heel leading. And then I'm going to do some repeated lifts for my hamstring. And right at the end of this set, I'm going to curl from my knee. So what you need to know is you're not curling from your knee right now. You should be lifting primarily from the hip. That means gluteal, back, hamstring. Pull. See that? Turn your toe in. Some of you have turned your toe out like a duck, and so you don't want to be a duck. Here we go. Pull. Your tummy's super tight. Your shoulders are down. You're pulling right through that heel leading, but you're not curling yet. See, the supporting knee needs to be soft. And then you say rib cage up, rib cage up, rib cage up, rib cage up. Okay, we've got two more. Rib cage up, one more. Okay, now hold it there. Now curl and curl like you're trying to bring your heel to your hip. Curl and curl and curl and curl. Bring it down. So your supporting hip should be like you got a shot in it. So turn your toe out, release it, bring it back in. Great. Do it a couple times if you need to. Tight tummy, bring it back in. Turn, bring it back in. Okay? Go back. And if you tightened up, then do a couple of transverse moves. So you're going side to side, side to side, side to side, side to side, side to side. See that? Okay, now shift. Okay, bend your knee that you're going to support on. Rib cage up. Bring your other leg back to your toe point. Okay, now tighten in. You're going to push down just a little, and then you're going to lift from the hip. Lift. This one right here, if I could give most of you are walking, you're riding bikes, you're doing all kinds of different sports maybe, you're hiking. But what you're not doing is pushing your hamstring to get stronger. Okay, this can be done anywhere, all right? But pay attention to your body position. See how my knee is soft? Breath, pull, breath, pull. Tight tummy, tight tummy, tight tummy. Pull, keep your legs straight. You're lifting from the heel, keeping your legs straight, leading with the heel. Okay, now bring it up there. Now pull the heel to the hip. Pull the heel to the hip. Pull the heel to the hip. Breath, heel to the hip. Breath, heel to the hip. Breath, heel to the hip. Two more. Should be feeling it right here. Breath, keep your shoulders down. Breath, and bring it back in. Yeah, turn that toe out. Now to the last big push, okay? It'll be so fun. Don't leave me yet. See, some people didn't come on today because they knew we were going to do lifting today. They might have to sweat just a little. Okay, so here's my heavy load, the heavy load. I kept my little added weight in there. I'm going to lace my fingers. And what am I going to do? I'm going to act like I have a big old heavy bowling ball. And I'm going to act like I'm going to throw it down the lane, but I don't. I'm going to throw it down the lane, but I don't. And so you can do this all with a heavy duty shopping bag, loaded. This is a big effort for your frame to shove this forward like that. You're doing push-pull mechanics for here. So I'm going to go push and pull it back. I'm holding on to it. Push, pull. So it's a push-pull with your legs as well. See how you're using your legs? Breath. Keep your tummy tight. Keep your butt tight. Go. Breath. Here we go. Breath. Here we go. Breath. Here we go. Breath. 2 more. Oh, this is back extensors, gluteals, obliques, lats, shoulders, and put it down. Yay! Right here. Look at this. See the W? Bring it out to a T. Take a breath. Step, split, stance. Bring that W in. Bring it into a nice windmill or a little scissors action with your arms. Breath, breath, breath. See how the upper body is turning? The lower body is not. Breath, keep your chin tucked. Breath, and step back, step front. Tight tummy, drop your shoulders, soften your knees. And when you go on this is a pendulum, split stance, pendulum arms. Wow, this is so good to feel all your body parts moving. Breath, 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 and breath. I would give you a high five. If you really loaded today, you did some decent carries. That is what we have to be doing very regularly.